Mr. Coates, it's still on Northumbrian water. I don't have a problem with sewage yet because there aren't any houses down here. However, our water levels are rising due to excess rainfall and have been for goodness knows how long. It's predicted to carry on in the future. How does Northumbrian water cope with A, the excess rainfall that's already occurring, and B, when it comes to building the road, there is going to be a lot of muck, and if there's also a lot of rain, that muck has got to go somewhere. Where is it going? Because if it's flowing straight into our rivers, we're not going to be happy people at all. So have Northumbrian Water done their predictions calculated on houses only, on dry weather only, or have they in fact taken future problematic weather conditions into account, and the building of the road itself, which will be a huge muddy problem? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Thanks for the question, Councillor. Definitively, I couldn't say. I would suspect that their contribution to the process at this stage will result in housing. And so it would be unreasonable for them to conclude, because there's no housing that's going to be brought forward at this stage, there may not be a problem. But nevertheless, what they're saying, there is capacities, about 2,500 to move forward. Don't forget, as the developers have indicated, it's unlikely that there be any housing on this site because of how the conditions are timed within 12 months or more, because the infrastructure has to go in first. If they've factored in the road construction and the outfall of the road, I can't answer that. It's something we would have to
Thank you, Chair. Away from Northumbrian Water, just on the aspect in relation to schools, as paragraph on page 61 highlight the need for a new primary school facility, and there's an area outlined on the map where that ideally would go. And I appreciate that this application is about the infrastructure in terms of the road specifically, but we're talking about a development that could potentially to map out that entire place. We're talking 20-ish years. But we're saying only 15 years to guarantee that space for education facilities. Do we need to be thinking about whether to guarantee that on the site, that we need to extend that for the length of time that we have to see the building to be happening, so that actually at no point can anyone come back and say, well, actually maybe we could use that for housing, because I think a primary school in that area is important. It does make reference to have a recommendation to the effect of 15 years. But the recommendation doesn't actually put a timeline on that I can see. Right.
I think the 15 years is more than reasonable, Councillor. To tie it in for longer than that would be quite difficult, I would suggest. I wish I had a crystal ball, but I don't. I think after 15 years, we would be in a position, depending on how quickly the site builds out, to be in a position to actually do something about that school. And securing it for that period of time would be more than adequate, I would suggest.
Thank you, Chair. I've got a couple of questions. All in one go, and then did he deal with them all, or do you want to go one at a time?
One at a time.
One at a time. On the outline here, there's no indication that there are any cycleways, which goes against, is it LTN 120? But it's not very clear on the plans whether or not there are any cycleways included.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. The design of the site will be fully LTM 120 compliant, so it includes LTM 120, which is sort of gold standard cycleway infrastructure both sides of the spine road with connections to
showed in plans then?
It should be in plans, as I think there's hundreds of plans, there's detailed design, highway design plans, building support. I appreciate it's fairly impenetrable, but there are literally hundreds of highway design plans.
Okay, thank you. Just in general, I'd like to talk just about the rhetoric really of the report, how you've written it, because I get a bit confused as I'm going through it. So there's you're very strong on some points, such as here's an email from Northumbrian Water, and you know everything is hunky dory. We get to other sort of parts in the report. If I point you to paragraph 60, which is on page 44. So there's a bit here about the environment statement, for example. So you discuss here any moderate or major adverse effects from isolated viewpoints, such as existing farmsteads, public rights of way, particularly during construction, will reduce because and become insignificant because as planting matures. So there's sort of indication there that you can see that there's going to be a cumulative effect to trees growing, and therefore the landscape's going to change, and therefore that's not going to be an adverse effect anymore. You see what I mean? But there's no recognition that you building the houses could have an adverse effect on other things. So it's sort of dealt with in the report elsewhere as well. There's a reference towards the highways, for example, and there's just a throwaway line later on in the report that, yeah, we've looked at the effect on Woodland Road and the A68 and everything will be fine. There's no talk about the fact that we're building at Coniscliffe Park, that we're building West Park, that Woodland Road is, West Auckland Road is already an absolute nightmare, and I'm sure that members around this table get complaints about the traffic in this town every single day as I do. Every single day I will get a complaint about traffic in this town. So to get a line like this on a major development that just says, oh yeah, we looked at it, it'll be fine. But then when something comes along that you've got a problem with, where you've found a problem, so there's going to be moderate or major adverse effects from isolated viewpoints, you just wash it away by saying, yeah, well, some trees will grow, so it'll be okay. You see what I mean? The way the report's written, it's very much weighted. It's weighted to where you want it to be, as opposed to being objective. Do you see what I mean? That really concerns me as a writing style, as a report, because I can't trust the report then, and that's why I think me and a lot of other members do a lot more digging than we probably ought to, because that sort of line and that sort of rhetoric that you're using is really concerning, to be quite honest.
Okay, Councillor, the particular line you're talking about is in paragraph 60. Yeah, it's a statement of our opinion.
Exactly. It's your opinion. So you know, we're not actually giving the things here, are we? It's my opinion. So you know, it's just I forgot. You know, it's not an answer. It's a Howson. Mr. Howson's opinion. You know, West Auckland Road will be fine. Let's walk down West Auckland Road this afternoon and rush hour. See if it's fine. It's not fine now. You know, and I'm here to represent the people of the town. I'm not here to look at your opinion, because quite frankly, it's bull. Your opinion is bull, because it doesn't make any sense. People have common sense, and I'm here to represent people who've got common sense. We can see that a sewage plant's at 96% capacity is too full. Yeah. Anyone on the street, you could ask my 16-year-old daughter.
So can we let the officer respond and help?
Well, yeah, you know, come on, let's just start with some common sense in this chamber, yeah?
I've absolutely nothing to add to that.
I didn't think you would do, Mr. Coates. There's nothing wrong with the points you raise. I completely understand the points you raise. And the conversation should be had with officers around that.
I've had them
But-
many times, come on in.
No, I understand and get where you're coming from. It's the time appropriate for that. We're dealing with this planning application. I understand that you think, in your opinion, that they need more detail. Well, just say that. We need more detail, we need to talk about that. How can we do that? And talk about the planning application itself. Does that, it's difficult to put it how it should be, but it doesn't sound appropriate for this meeting for some of the issues you've raised and then the way you've raised them. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm saying we need to talk about them and work out how we can get that to a balance that you and the houses and the members of the public can understand.
Yeah.
So I'm not having a go, honestly I'm not. I'm just trying to get us into a position where we can move on.
Just very quickly, I've contacted Mr. Coates to forward some of these points and he hasn't responded, so I thought this was the only forum I could. But in the future, I'll copy you into those emails so that you can be aware of that. Okay?
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Lee, the application, please.